today, we are going to be looking at Benin Republic, but let me update you on the AfCFTA barometer. Currently, AfCFTA, out of 55 African countries, 54 countries have signed, 34 countries have ratified and deposited their instrument with the AU Commission. For this agreement to kick off, we need 22 countries. So now we have 34. So we have much more than enough. 37 countries have complied with their domestic requirement for ratification. Out of the 37 countries, only 34 have already deposited the instrument of ratification with the AU Commission. So the countries that are ready for AfCFTA include Ghana, Kenya, Rwanda, Niger, Chad, Eswatini, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Namibia, South Africa, Congo, Djibouti, Mauritania, Uganda, Togo, Egypt, Ethiopia, Gambia, Sahrawi, Democratic Republic, Sahrawiya, Sierra Leone, Zimbabwe, Burkina Faso, Sao Tome and Principe, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Mauritius, Central African Republic, Angola, Lesotho, Tunisia, Cameroon. Now, Benin Republic is among the countries that have signed but yet to ratify. Benin Republic is among the countries that have signed but yet to ratify. The only country that have not signed in Africa is this country in this corner, and that country is called Eritrea. That's the only outstanding country that have not signed. Eritrea is the only outstanding country that have not signed. Like I said, we have looked at Algeria, we have looked at Angola, we have looked at Benin Republic, we have looked at Botswana, we have looked at Burkina Faso, we have looked at Angola, we are looking at Benin Republic today. So for the remaining part of January, 14th, we look at Botswana, 24th, Burkina Faso and Burundi. So by the end of January, we'll have been through with the first 6 countries. By the end of January, having done 2 in December and 4 in January. And by February, we'll be looking at Burundi, Cameroon, Cape Verde, and Central African Republic. In March, we'll be looking at Chad, Comoros, DRC, Congo, Djibouti, and Egypt. And we'll continue in that fashion till we get to Zimbabwe. But like I said today, the presentation, the video can be picked up on the Telegram channel. The presentation are not sent out, but rather you can pick up the information you are asking for on the Telegram channel. If you click on that link, you join the Telegram channel, and then you can pick up the video version of the presentation. So today we are looking at Benin Republic. Of course, Benin Republic have boundary with Nigeria, Togo, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic. And Burkina Faso, of course, have a coastline. It's very important for you to note there are some countries in Africa that do not have a coastline. They are called the landlocked countries. Those countries do not have a coastline. They are called the landlocked. About 14, 15 countries actually are within that category. So that means for AfCFTA, we are not going to only ship by sea. We will need to ship by air. We will need to ship by road and by rail because of those countries. Because of those countries that are landlocked. Benin Republic, according to the World Bank ranking on ease of doing business, Benin Republic saw 149. I think out of about 180 something countries, 149. It actually scored 52.4 over 100 and number 149. The population of Benin is 11.5 million people. 11.5 million people. The city covered is Cotonou. Now, it's extremely important for you to note that Benin Republic is a low-income country. That is very important. That is very important. You know, based on AfCFTA, obviously there are markets for us all over Africa, but please note, what we sell well in African market are retail products. What we sell well in African market are retail products, particularly the fast-moving consumer goods. Particularly the fast-moving consumer goods. Why? Because African countries do not have a lot of disposable income. They are low-income countries. Majority are low-income, lower middle. Very few are upper middle. Most are low-income and lower middle-income countries. So that means that the people we also, first of all, we need to survive before they begin to look for luxuries. So don't expect to be able to do well in the sales of luxury within the African market. Don't expect to be able to do well with luxury goods. Of course, there are markets for it, but in few countries. So the fact that many African countries are in the low-income country or in the lower middle income country means that many families are struggling to survive. They will be more interested in food. And that explains the reason why the consumption component, the household consumption component, the household consumption volume of the consumption component of the GDP in many African countries is typically more than 60–70%. Why? Household consumption is a big deal in Africa. Household consumption is a big deal in Africa. Household consumption is a big deal in Africa. In 2018, Benin was 141 economy in the world, number 141 in terms of all the economy in the world. In terms of GDP, the number 142, it was number 142 in total export, in number 124 in import. So you can see that in Benin do a lot of import. And the reason why they do those imports is because of Nigeria. Because most of the products going into that country, a good number of them escape into the Nigerian market. In 2018, Benin exported $1.27 billion export and imported 5.8, resulting in a negative trade balance. Benin export per capita is 110, but import per capita is $505. Top export of Benin is raw cashew nut, coconut, Brazil, and Brazil nut, raw cotton, cashew nut, coconut, Brazil nut, gold, scrap copper, and other oily seed. The import includes rice. You can understand why. $1 billion on rice. You can understand why. 20%, about 20% of the import of Benin Republic is rice. 20% of the total import. Remember, the total import is $5.8 billion. 20% of that is about $1 billion, and it's rice. But also import palm oil. They import hair. That's hair extension. It's called fake hair in trade. They do a lot of car importation also, a number of which also come into Nigeria, and light, pure woven cotton. We're going to see other things that Benin Republic imports shortly. We're going to see other things that Benin Republic imports shortly. Benin exports to India, Bangladesh, UAE, Vietnam, Nigeria, and imports mostly from China. $1.8 billion from China alone. Of course, you can understand why. Of course, you can understand why. $1.8 billion from China alone. And also import from India, from France, and from United States. From India, from France, from United States. Someone is saying, how can Nigerian government block the income revenue lost to Benin Republic? How will AfCFTA implementation address this? The only way Nigerian government, one of the most viable way for Nigerian government to do the question being asked by Samson is for Nigerian port to be efficient and effective. When Nigerian port become efficient, Nigeria is supposed to be the hub for trade in Africa, in West Africa. But Nigeria is not the hub for trade in West Africa because our ports are too expensive. Because our ports are too expensive. So the fact that our ports are too expensive makes us not to be a very, very, very viable destination. Many people will rather go to neighboring countries. In my interest is to know that Nigerian also export from the neighboring country, not just import. Nigerian also export from the neighboring country.
To get the full video, check the description or visit www.globaltradecollege.com.